Hey there, welcome back. Let's talk about the parts of the guitar. I'll start with the acoustic guitar. This is normally called an acoustic guitar. Another name for it is a dreadnought. That's referring to the shape of the body. There are other names for guitars, folk guitar, jumbo guitar, but mostly people just say acoustic guitar for the steel strings and it's not amplified. If it were amplified, if there were a pickup in here, you'd call it an electric acoustic. So we're going to start from the top. This top part of the guitar is called the headstock. The headstock holds the tuning keys. There's 6 tuning keys, 6 strings. Machine heads are another name, particularly people who played electric guitar. The tuning keys, depending on which way you turn them, they'll make the string tighter or looser, which also, as you make the string tighter, it makes it higher in pitch and looser, lower in pitch. Then comes the nut. The nut is this little white section here. The strings sit on top of the nut. Nut can be made out of bone, traditionally that's what it is, but it can often be some type of plastic or synthetic material, even graphite. Then going down the guitar, this rest of the neck of the guitar, this whole thing is called a neck actually, but the bottom part of the neck has something called a fretboard on top of it. The fretboard is the wood that's on the face of the neck where you press your fingers. And on the fretboard are frets. The frets are numbered, starting with the first one, second one, and so on. This is important, by the way, because I'll often refer to put your finger on the first fret or the second fret. You'll notice also there are fret markers on this guitar. Those are those dots on the face of the guitar to tell you where, at a glance, the 3rd fret, the 5th fret, the double dot here is the 7th fret. This would be the 9th and the 12th fret. Also, on this guitar, there are fret markers on the side of the guitar. All guitars don't have this, so don't worry if you don't see this on your guitar. And nylon strings and classicals almost never have this. Going up the guitar, the face of the guitar has a pick guard usually, and that's to prevent the pick from scratching the surface of the guitar. This is called the sound hole. And this decoration around the sound hole is called the rosetta. Some are fancier and some are very simple. Doesn't matter for sound. Now this whole part right here is called the bridge. Within the bridge, you'll find that little white thing that the strings sit over. That's the saddle. And then what attaches the strings to the guitar are called bridge pins. Convenient, huh? It's a bridge pins. And what's happening is the string is going down a hole and the pin is holding it in there. Take a look on the bottom of my guitar. I have what's called a strap button. This is where I'll attach a strap. The strap has a little hole and I just put it over the strap button. The other side of the strap, for me, is going to attach between the strings and the headstock of the guitar. I'll tie it on there. I sometimes even use a shoelace. But the Planet Waves also makes a little device that you can tie it on there and then you can unclip it if you want to take the strap off. You don't have to untie it every time. Some guitars also have a strap button attached to the heel of the guitar. That's what they call this part where the neck attaches to the body. A lot of guitars don't, so don't worry if yours doesn't. Nothing's wrong. Now, here I have a nylon string guitar. This is also called a flamenco guitar. Looks just like what often people call a classical guitar. You can't really tell the difference just by glancing. There's some subtle differences I won't go into now. But for our purposes, they're the same. Usually, the classical guitar has the pins or the tuning keys in the back of the head. And you'll see it's a little different mechanism. That's because the nylon strings tie onto those little rollers and roll up. This is still called the head. It pretty much has all the same parts. This is the face of the guitar. Frets, again, that's a very important concept. Frets, sound hole. Usually, you'll see a little fancier rosetta on a well-made classical or flamenco guitar. Still, you have the bridge here. No bridge pins. It's tradition to tie the string on the back part of the saddle here. This still is a saddle, and the back part of the bridge has a little place that you tie it on. There are strings that have little balls on it, but most classical guitar players or flamenco guitars are going to tie the strings on. And it looks like a hassle, but it's one of those things you just get used to and you don't think about it after a while. Notice I do have a strap pin here. Most classical guitars or flamencos don't. This one happens to have a pickup built in, and this button here is also where you plug in the pickup. It's because of the style I play, I need to be amplified. Also, I have something that's not common. I have a little Velcro with picks on here because sometimes I use a pick. Mostly on the flamenco or classical, you're going to use your fingers. So that's the basic parts of the guitar. The most important thing is you need to know the frets and their numbering, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Sometimes a regular acoustic guitar will have little dots to tell you where the 5th, the 7th, or the 12th is. None of my classical flamencos have that. You just have to memorize where it is by sight or by feel. Also, you need to know which tuning key goes to which string. That's very important. And by the way, they're in order, and you can see that if your guitar is pre-strung. Where it comes in handy is when you have to restring your guitar yourself. You need to know which string goes on which tuning key. So the best thing to do is look at your guitar the way it is and kind of memorize that. The thickest string, of course, is this one here, and the thinnest string is all the way on the other end, and it goes around in this order. That's it for this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to go through the names of the strings and a couple other numbering systems that will be very valuable to you as we go through this course and through your guitar playing career. See you soon.